Just had a baby. I expect a gift of $3,000. The message from Kathy, the detestable being who stole Gabriel from me, was outrageous. She faked a pregnancy to trap him into marriage, leading to our divorce. Even though I didn't want to remember that day after remarrying, it seems she hasn't changed in her ways of callously hurting feelings and causing chaos. I can't believe this person is my real sister. But now that the message has been seen by James, I can't ignore it. James suggests celebrating, so reluctantly, I agree to go. It seems he has a plan. James is fundamentally a warm and kind person, but he despises dishonesty. He's also smart and good at turning situations to his advantage at work. So if he says it's okay, he must have a strategy. Enjoy your laughter while you can. It's time to settle the score for all the wrongdoings that have been done. I am Lindsay Manning. I've been working as an office lady in a local company since graduating from university. I've been dating someone since my university days. During college, through a club, I met Gabriel Anderson, a medical student from the same university. His father is a renowned allergist, and Gabriel aims to be a doctor too. His father is a popular practitioner with patients coming from all over the country. Gabriel, the only son of this practitioner, initially seemed like a pampered, smart rich kid. However, that was a prejudice on my part. Talking to him revealed he was quite unique, and we shared a love for the same film director. Wanting to know more about him, I boldly approached him. "Hey, have you seen the new film by that director? If not, would you like to go see it together? I'm surprised to meet a woman who likes that director's work." "Absolutely." "Really? I don't have many fans around me. I'm so happy to have a promise to watch it with you." My approach worked, and he began to see me as someone special. Our relationship continued not only during college but also after graduation. When I was 25, Gabriel proposed to me. I'm still learning as a doctor. But I want to take over my father's hospital and become a respectable physician. I want you, Lindsay, to see me in that role up close. Will you marry me? Of course, I'd be delighted. Let's be happy together. Soon after our marriage, I became pregnant and was at the peak of happiness. I knew Gabriel would be a great father. Whether a boy or a girl, as long as the baby is healthy, that's all that matters. Gabriel was eagerly awaiting the birth too. But that happiness was fragile and soon shattered. I suffered from severe morning sickness, constantly battling nausea and ill health. I had to quit my job and struggled with my condition at home. I had eating morning sickness, where not eating worsened my nausea. So I constantly needed to eat. The area around my usual sofa was littered with bags of sweet bread. I'm home. Lindsay, what's with this room? It's filled with bags of snacks and bread. Sorry. I couldn't move because of the morning sickness. And didn't do any tidying. You're not working, and you've gained so much weight. I feel awful if I don't eat. Despite my eating morning sickness, I gained 22 pounds compared to my pre-pregnancy weight. Not doing housework and just eating. It's like you've become a pig that's abandoned femininity. Calling me a pig is too much. He would laugh at me alone, mocking me. I can't believe that Gabriel could say such cruel things to his wife, who can't move properly due to morning sickness. Maybe I just didn't see his true nature. I had a faint hope that once the baby was born, he might return to the kind Gabriel he used to be. But that hope too was fragile and soon shattered. One day, my sister Kathy came to visit. "Oh, Lindsay, you're here. This place is a mess, isn't it? Sorry about the mess in the house." "It's fine. I'm used to this house anyway." There in front of me, struggling with morning sickness and feeling terrible, was my sister Kathy. She occasionally visits our house. but I was in no state to entertain her properly due to my poor health. However, thinking that talking might distract me, I decided to chat. You know, it looks like the baby in my tummy is a girl. I dream of dressing up and going shopping together someday. Really? I didn't know you thought like that. Does Gabriel know it's going to be a girl? Yes, I told Gabriel right away that it's a girl. I dream of wearing matching clothes with my child. Kathy, you've always been fashionable, so I'm counting on you for advice when the time comes. Then Kathy turned around and smiled meaningfully. Right, Gabriel is just a novice doctor now, but eventually, he'll take over his family's hospital. Poor Gabriel, having Lindsay as the director's wife. Kathy, that's too harsh, really. You're so sarcastic. Kathy can be quite sharp-tongued, sometimes throwing cutting remarks. As her younger sister, I've gotten used to it over the years. Still, it's quite hard when I'm feeling ill. However, Kathy went back to her usual smiling self and waved her hand. Sorry. I just spoke without thinking, as usual. By the way, Lindsay, have you had any troubles lately? Troubles. Well, Gabriel has been coming home late recently. He's a doctor, so I guess it can't be helped, but he seems to be at the hospital all the time. Even on weekends. We haven't had much time to talk lately. I see. Well, it's no wonder, with someone like you as a doctor's wife. I felt a chill seeing Kathy's icy smile. What? I came to talk to you today. As she said this, Kathy glanced towards the living room door. Then, entering from the living room door was Gabriel. Gabriel? Did you get off work early today? I have something to tell you. Let's get divorced. I want a divorce. What kind of joke is this? What do you mean? I couldn't understand what Gabriel was saying as soon as he got home. I knew him since our university days. And he wasn't the kind of person to make a bad joke at a time like this. Especially with our child in my belly. See, your beloved husband is saying this. You should listen to his request and let go quickly. What? Kathy. Then, Gabriel looked over awkwardly. I can no longer see you as a woman, always eating and gaining weight. But this is eating morning sickness. I feel sick if I don't eat. Kathy looked at me with a triumphant expression. That's how it is. And having a girl in your belly. She won't be the heir to the endo clinic. Besides, I have the sign of Gabriel's love in my belly, a worthy heir. Kathy. Looking at Kathy affectionately stroking her belly, I had a bad feeling. I'm 3 months pregnant now, and the tests revealed it's a boy. Are you kidding me? Gabriel, what are you doing while I'm going through such hard times? That's why it's unacceptable for you to keep making excuses. Quitting your job, and just eating. I'm fed up with watching you lie around eating snacks all day. I take care of myself, so I don't have any nausea. I won't lose control and eat like a pig, like you do, even though I'm pregnant. I was speechless in front of Kathy's triumphant face and Gabriel's guilty look at the floor. I didn't know Kathy was pregnant with a boy. But considering an heir, I want a son too. I'd rather have the beautiful Kathy as my wife than a woman who keeps gaining weight indiscriminately. That's so selfish. Wanting a son for an heir and a beautiful wife is all your own wish. Of course, I'll pay compensation. So, please, let's part without any more words. Seeing Gabriel prostrating himself, I realized there was no turning back. Afterward, Gabriel and I divorced, and I gave birth to our daughter as a single mother. Gabriel's promise of compensation turned out to be just words, and he never actually paid. After giving birth to my daughter, I had to work to survive, as I had no one to rely on. For the time being, not knowing what else to do, I took a job at a nearby department store where they were hiring. Life is unpredictable. Someone appreciated my hard work and personality. His name was James Owen, a capable man known for his work in the external sales department. You're working hard as always. Thank you. I'm about to finish up. Are you done for the day, Mr. Owen?
Yeah.
There's a great Italian place nearby I want you to try. And here's a souvenir for your daughter. As we kept having light conversations every time we met, we were drawn to each other and started dating. Eventually, it led to us getting remarried. Lindsay, I may be 20 years older than you, but my desire to make you and your daughter happy is genuine. Will you marry me? Really? I'd be glad to. Since remarrying, our lives have been truly happy. The peaceful life with my kind husband and daughter was blissful. But I didn't realize that ominous footsteps were approaching, casting a dark shadow over our tranquil days. One day, while James was at work and I was off, I stood up to make some coffee when an email arrived. It was from Kathy, and the content was shocking. The baby is born. I'm counting on you for a gift of $3,000. Staring at the email with just one sentence, I sighed. It was depressing enough to hear from Kathy, who had an affair with Gabriel and married him 5 years ago. And now she's asking for a $3,000 congratulatory gift. I haven't forgotten that day, and I can't forget it even if I try. Kathy's expression and Gabriel's behavior back then. While I was suffering from morning sickness, they were planning to be happy together. Something I still can't forgive. I didn't know how to respond to Kathy's message and felt lost. That's when James returned from work and, noticing my state, asked with concern. What's wrong, Lindsay? You look pale. Oh, James? I got a message from my sister. She just had a baby. Is she the sister you told me about? The one who married your ex-husband? Yes. I don't want to see her face or get in touch with her. And now, she's asking for a $3,000 gift? As James listened to my story and looked at my smartphone screen, he suddenly seemed to realize something. Wait, this Kathy Anderson. Do you know her? Do you know her? I didn't mention her when we got married because I didn't want to remember.
Yeah.
I've never been introduced to her by you. But it can't be. James, looking contemplative while staring at the email screen, seemed to remember something. We didn't properly greet her during our marriage either. Maybe it's time to say hello. Also, I just remembered something about work. So I need to go back to the department store. Leaving those words behind, James quickly started to prepare to leave. Are you going back to the department store now? Sorry, there's something I want to do. A few hours later, James returned, holding what looked like a thick file. Hey, Lindsay, is it okay if we visit your sister's house in 2 weeks on Sunday? It's a day off for both of us. I also want you to meet my parents and cousins. Meet your parents and cousins too? Kathy loves being fussed over by people, so she'll probably be fine, but why? Your ex-husband is famous for allergy treatments, right? Our family suffers from allergies, so I thought it might be good to get some advice. I remember hearing from a friend that Gabriel took over his father's allergy clinic. I heard from a friend that Gabriel's father was an authority on allergy treatments. And Gabriel became an allergy specialist too. I'll contact Kathy then. After reaching out to Kathy, she quickly responded with an enthusiastic okay. I want to see the baby too, so we'll visit. I'll bring a gift. Also, is it okay if I bring some relatives? They really want to meet you. Of course, you're welcome. The more guests, the more gifts I get. I'm looking forward to it in 2 weeks on Sunday. 2 weeks later, on Sunday, I visited Kathy's house with James, his parents, and a group of relatives, including his cousins. The house, stylish and adjacent to a hospital, sat in a quiet residential area, its white walls dazzling. James's parents and relatives had come to meet the renowned allergy doctor, but they were visibly amazed by the luxuriousness of the house. "Welcome. I've been waiting for you. It's been a while, Kathy. You look happy." "Well, yes. I was worried about my first childbirth, but everything went well, so it's all good." I felt something off in Kathy's words. "Your first childbirth? Didn't you say before that you were pregnant with a boy?" "Oh, I hadn't told you yet? I miscarried that one. So this is my first." Then, James, standing next to me, nodded meaningfully. As Kathy saw James's face, she started to tremble. "Oh, hello for the first time." "Hello. You must be Lindsay's sister. I heard from Lindsay about your previous miscarriage." "Yes. But I don't want to remember that anymore." Kathy turned away abruptly, looking like she was about to leave. "I apologize for that. Actually, I have something for you, Kathy." "What? Something for me?" Her eyes changing, Kathy watched as James handed her an envelope. The pastel-colored envelope, labeled "Congratulations," was noticeably thick even from the side. "Here you go. I wanted to give this to you personally. You know what I like. This is it. I've been waiting for this." I glanced at James and whispered in a low voice, "Hey. We're not rich. And we don't have to give Kathy exactly $3,000 just because she said so." James, without changing his expression, cut me off. "It's okay, just watch. You'll understand." "To understand what?" As we were talking about the envelope, Kathy started to open it. "I have to make sure it's exactly $3,000. With this thickness, it might even be $5,000. Ripping open the cute envelope, she proceeded to check its contents. As Kathy opened the envelope, her expression instantly darkened. "What is this?" Then James, with a businesslike smile, stepped forward to explain. "Ms. Kathy Anderson. This is a detailed statement of the purchases you've made at the department store over the past 5 years. It appears you've been shopping on account, saying, 'Put it on my tab.' And this is the amount you've accumulated to date." "What are you talking about?" "I don't know anything about this." Looking at the detailed statement in Kathy's hand, there was a list of luxury watches and brand name bags. Seeing the 6-figure amount in the price column, I was in disbelief. Indeed, Mr. Gabriel Anderson himself, as well as his parents, are valued customers with external sales card contracts. However, such a large amount necessitated a confirmation, just to be sure. "My husband is the famous allergy specialist, Gabriel Anderson. As the wife of the director of the Anderson Clinic, I use a couple of external sales cards." "Is that so? There's also another matter I'd like to personally verify." Then James paused for a moment before continuing. "About 5 years ago, there was a complaint about a customer who was flaunting an external sales card and having a very unpleasant conversation in the store." "What's that got to do with anything?" "There were several complaints. So we checked with the staff who were nearby at the time. The content of the conversation was so appalling that the staff remembered it clearly." Glancing sideways, I noticed Kathy's expression becoming more severe. "According to the staff, the conversation was about stealing someone's husband. Who happened to be your sister's husband. Could it be that?" "Exactly. Moreover, the conversation was about breaking them up using a false pregnancy." The staff recalled how she boasted about it, laughing loudly as if it was a heroic tale. That's when I realized. The whole story about Kathy being pregnant with a boy who would be Gabriel's successor was a lie to steal him away. Of course, there was no pregnancy, so no morning sickness or body changes either. What? Are you saying that was my story? When we matched the details of the complaint with the external sales card used at the time, your name, Kathy Anderson, came up. Why would you do such a thing? I can't believe it. I couldn't stand the thought of you entering a doctor's family and being assured a future as the clinic director's wife. I had to take whatever means necessary to tell Gabriel I was the one worthy of that position. I was overwhelmed with disbelief. Gabriel had fallen into Kathy's trap, and she had lied to marry him. As I stood there stunned, the room's door opened. What? What's going on here? Kathy, explain this. How long have you been there? From the beginning. I came back to get something I forgot and found this external sales card statement. And now you're saying the pregnancy 5 years ago was a lie? You set me up. As Gabriel yelled, Kathy burst into laughter. So what? You got a beautiful wife praised by everyone. And we even have a child now, so what's the problem? Don't joke with me. I can't live with a liar like you. Let's get a divorce. You're joking, right? What about our child? Don't you think it's pitiful to divorce now? As Kathy tried to cling to him, Gabriel, with a demonic look, pushed her away. Living with a lying, reckless spender like you is not in the best interest of our child. I want a divorce. I'll take custody. You can't be serious. Do you have any idea what I went through to give birth to this child? This child needs to become a doctor in the future and support me. You're unbelievably selfish. There's no point in discussing this further. I'll contact a lawyer. The relatives who had come along, hoping to get some effective allergy medication from the famous doctor, were stunned by the chaos that unfolded. The fact that Kathy was my sister made me feel indescribably embarrassed. After that incident, Gabriel reportedly hired a top divorce lawyer and successfully obtained a divorce and custody. Meanwhile, Kathy, who had been shopping extravagantly using the external sales card during her marriage, was now overwhelmed with debt. Hey, if your husband hadn't brought that statement, I'd still be the clinic director's wife. Now I'm chased by repayments. As my sister, you should help me out in this crisis. Why should I? You brought this upon yourself, didn't you? You have to pay for what you've shopped for. What was completely unexpected was a message from Gabriel via a social media short message service. Hey, why don't we give it another try? If Kathy hadn't lied about being pregnant with a boy 5 years ago, we could have been happily married. And I want to see our daughter too. I haven't forgotten how you abandoned and ridiculed me when I was suffering from morning sickness and then cheated on me. After 5 years of no contact, suddenly he comes back with these convenient proposals. I don't even want to see his face anymore. Despite inheriting the clinic from his father, Gabriel struggled to keep it afloat. Rumors of his affair led to a decrease in patients. Gabriel's inherited Anderson Clinic now has a 1-star rating and an unbelievable number of bad reviews on a hospital review site. The irony of his obsession with having a male successor and the impending closure of the clinic he inherited is not lost on me. My husband, daughter, and I continue to live happily together. Lindsay, are you ready? Shall we head out soon? Yes. I was just reminiscing about the delicious seafood pasta you got me as takeout back then. The restaurant James used for takeout when he was trying to approach me as a single mother. Back then, my daughter was young, and we weren't in a relationship yet. Just colleagues, so we never ate at the restaurant. Back then, you had just gone through your divorce. And it must have been tough. I thought if I could make you a bit happier with a tasty meal. It was your kindness that attracted me to you. The dish that brought us together holds a special place in my heart. Back then, I ate it as takeout with my daughter, but now it's different. It's a joy to be able to share it with my family. To have you and our daughter together on an outing like this.